Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon Violet, but we can only play with Fire-type Pokemon. We're going to do something a little bit different this start of this episode. It's going to be a couple of announcements, and then we're going to start. First of announcements is we have a new series starting up here very soon, starting sometime next week, and I do have polls up on both my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Reddit account. So all of that will be at Mazfiro95, pretty much everywhere. The new series games are either Radical Red, Pokemon Crown, Pokemon Infinite Fusion, or Pokemon Dark Rising. Now, if you guys want to see any of those, go on, put a poll, or you can comment in this video below. I'm taking everything together to get an idea of what we want to see most. Currently, it is a tie between Pokemon Radical Red and Pokemon Infinite Fusion at this current moment. Like I said, all my socials, which you can see down below, are at Mazfiro95, pretty much everywhere. If you guys are liking this series, I also have all my social medias open for fan art or pretty much questions or pretty much anything you guys want to know. Just go on and shoot me a message on any of those platforms and I can get back to you pretty much immediately. If you guys are liking this series, make sure you subscribe so you can see some more content. Like these videos because then I know you like them and the YouTube algorithm loves it. As well as if you guys leave a comment, again, algorithm absolutely loves it. And let's try and make that a thing. So for today's comment of the video, I mean, how about we just go with whatever your favorite moment in Pokemon is? Something I've done, something that's just been something great in your childhood, or anything in this series, really. I would love to hear it. Starting off this episode, we're going to be taking on the Titan Pokemon Dondozo and Tatsugiri. This is actually a really interesting combo. It's really good in even competitive play. So Dondozo pops out, eats the Tatsugiri. This gives Dondozo better stats. But we just decided to use Ann Wilson. Go ahead and Terra for a Seed Bomb so we can get more grass damage against the Dondozo, being able to more than likely one-shot it. We missed it just by a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and use another Seed Bomb to go ahead and take it out. After taking out Dondozo, he goes back in the water and he swims off to the next area where we have to go ahead and fight him. When we get to the new area, Tatsugiri's sitting by himself yet again. Dondozo pops up and goes ahead and smacks the wall. Tatsugiri runs inside to actually go get the Herba Mystica for the Dondozo, brings it back so the Dondozo can eat him and power him up. Again, we're just going to go ahead and lead Ann Wilson. Arvin's here hanging out with his squirrel just like usual. So we're going to go ahead, Terra Grass, and go for another Seed Bomb to hit the Dondozo. Once we come out here and we hit him with another Seed Bomb, it only does about half, which is not as much as I would like. But Greedent goes ahead and uses Tail Whip to weaken the defense, so then a Seed Bomb is easily able to knock it out, definitely guaranteed with a crit. Once we take out Dondozo, Tatsugiri now becomes powered up and becomes the Titan Pokemon. This is a nice little 2-on-1 battle. So again, we're just going to go ahead and pop another Terra to empower the Seed Bomb that's going to be coming out here. And the Seed Bomb on Tatsugiri, since he is not a water type, only does a little bit. Greedent goes for another Tail Whip, allowing Tatsugiri to get hit a little bit harder by this Seed Bomb, but it's still going to require us to do it one more time to be able to take it out. So the last Seed Bomb comes out here, takes out the Tatsugiri, and that is it. Me and Arvin go in the cave to find the spicy Herba Mystica, which is just really cool. I love the red. I love spicy food just in general. And that gives us the False Dragon Titan badge from the Path of Titans, which is actually our last badge that we needed to earn here. After earning the badge, we give him a ride on our sandwich to give us the very last power-up that he can do, allowing him to climb up walls. Arvin has a very emotional moment here with his Mastaboss when he accidentally drops his Pokeball. Mastaboss is now able to actually stand up. He's allowed to play and all the fun stuff, so it's an emotional moment. Afterwards, we have to take on Aerie, who is the Fighting Team Star leader. I saved you guys all the hassle of having to watch that last little bit of long stretch of fighting 30 Pokemon. It was very slow and very uneventful, so we're just going to go and save that. Aerie is a fighting team leader. She's trained all of the other characters, so we just decided to lead with Volcarona here since it knows Psychic. We were able to easily one-shot the Toxicroak, go ahead and Quiver Dance to get our spells up, so because Passimian's not too scary. He throws a Rock Tomb, which is scary, but we're still faster, so we're able to knock it out in one shot with our Psychic. Her next Pokemon is Lucario to come out here, so we're just going to go ahead and Fiery Dance, give us a chance to get it up, and now we are actually +2 with our special attack here, so Volcarona has no problem being scared of nothing. We're going to use Psychic one more time to knock out the Annihilate. And after knocking out the Annihilate, Revavroom comes out, who is still partially fighting, so we're able to hit one Psychic to almost knock it out. We'll lose to the high horsepower, but we're fairly confident in just going into Steven Tyler, using a non-resisted Shadow Ball to take out the Revavroom. This has earned us the Fighting Crew badge from the Starfall Street, which again is the last Starfall Street that we've had to do for this challenge as well. Scott Wayland, the Carcold decides to evolve, which just took a little bit of grinding, not gonna lie, but you're finally able to have our Colossal Pokemon. Now we get to take on the Elite Four, and our first opponent is Rika, the Ground-type Elite Four member. She leads out with Whiscash. We decide to lead out with Ann Wilson. And Wilson's going to go ahead and use a Seed Bomb. We're not tearing here because I don't know if I'm going to. After Whiscash, she decides to go into Donphan, which at this point I'm kind of committed to going for the Terrasilize on my Ann Wilson. We're going to go for a Seed Bomb to almost take out the Donphan, but lives just because of Sturdy. So we go for another Seed Bomb to take the Donphan out. I've sped up these battles because these are very long, and this would have been a very easily 25-minute video if I had sped them any less. So Camera Up comes out, and we're going to go into Steven Tyler to just do a non-resisted Shadow Ball because we don't have better options. They go for a Yawn, so we go for another Shadow Ball because Steven Tyler is not really needed for the rest of this fight. And we're going to go right back into Ann Wilson. Doug Trio comes out, who's very fast, and uses Sandstorm, so we go immediately for a Seed Bomb because we're never going to outspeed it and take it out. Clodsire comes out, and Clodsire is very scary, so we're just going to go straight for a Terrasilize Seed Bomb to try and get as much damage as we can out as possible. Rika goes ahead and Terrasilizes Clodsire, and we're able to take it out nice and easily with a single Seed Bomb. The next Elite Four member is, I believe they said, an 8-year-old, Poppy. Poppy is a Steel Elite Four member, which is very rare in these games, so we decide to lead with Amy Lee to get out the Sun to do as much damage as possible. Poppy decides to lead Caparaja and go for a high horsepower, where we get to take it out with a boosted Lava Plume. So the next Pokemon that she throws out is Bronzong, so we decide to go to Steven Tyler, Terrasilize, and start working on the Torch Song power-ups, because with Torch Song we're going to be getting a special attack boost after every single one, making this a very easy fight. So after Bronzong, we're +1. Go ahead and count with me here. The Corviknight comes out and uses Pressure, which is going to reduce our PP count, which is not that big of a deal, so we're just going to go ahead and use another Torch Song so that we are +2. The next Pokemon that Poppy sends out is Magnezone, who is very common in having Sturdy, so we go ahead and go for another Torch Song to get the boost. Knocks it down to Sturdy, and she goes for a Light Screen, which does not matter at 1 HP, and we are now +4. Poppy throws out my favorite Pokemon to use Fire Pokemon against, which is Tinkaton, and she goes ahead and Terrasilizes it into a Steel type, so the Fairy is no problem. She goes for a Stone Edge, which probably would have taken us out, and we get to dodge it, going right for another Torch Song and taking the Tinkaton out. Our best man, Larry, who is probably one of my favorite trainers in this game, he is normal with normal Pokemon. He's just cool. Larry, we have to fight one more time in the Elite Four, so he decides to lead off with Tropius. We go right into Scott Wayland, the Colossal, and go straight for a Heat Crash. Now, I don't know what I was really thinking here, but I went for a Terrasilize into Rock, and then went for Heat Crash, and it didn't take out the Tropius. So Tropius goes ahead, uses Solar Beam, hits us once, and we miss the Rock Blast. So to save Scott Wayland for possible future battles, we decided to return him and throw out Amy Lee. The sun is already up, but Amy Lee can tank a Solar Beam fairly confident. So with Amy Lee, we just go for a Lava Plume, hoping that the Air Slash didn't flinch us. Staraptor decides to come out here, so we decide to try our hand at an Inferno for a guaranteed burn, and we miss. The sunlight goes away, so we try to go for a Lava Plume. This is sacrifice Amy Lee and go into Steven Tyler. This Staraptor is just going for Brave Bird after Brave Bird, so we decide to go for a Torch Song to try and get some kind of boost and to knock it out. Larry's next Pokemon is Altaria, which we really can't handle, so at a +1, I'm just going to go ahead and press Overheat to get as much damage as I can out. We are now -1 special attack, so I decided to go for another Torch Song just to get us back to neutral. The Altaria is still very scary, so I'm just going to go for another Torch Song to make us +1 and guaranteed to take it out, so that we have a little bit of special attack so that we can take out the next Pokemon. The next Pokemon's Oricorio, so we just decide to stop, go back out into Scott Wayland, and hope we can do some damage. So we go for a Stone Edge, she goes for a Teeter Dance to confuse us, and it is very effective as we do hit ourselves. So we go for another Stone Edge while she goes for Revelation Dance, almost get taken out, and actually miss the Stone Edge. So this second Revelation Dance will knock us out, unfortunately. The next Pokemon we decide to go into is Avril Lavigne, because you guys haven't seen this Pokemon yet, and she's very fast. So we go for a Venoshock to do half, and then go for another Venoshock to take out the Oricorio. Flamigo comes out, and I don't really have too many options here, so I go into Steven Tyler, so that way we have some kind of resistances against any fighting moves that might have possibly come out. And we just go for kind of a Hail Mary overheat. Larry decides to Terra flying the Flamigo, and it is very scary, and goes for a Brave Bird to knock us out. This is actually very scary as this Flamigo is very fast, so Avril Lavigne comes out, we go for a Flamethrower to do the most amount of damage and try and burn, which we do. The Brave Bird does take out the Salazzle, does a little bit of damage, but is guaranteed to burn, so we're not too bad. We go out into Ashley Costell, the Volcarona, to go for a Fiery Dance to guarantee faster and take out the Flamigo for this fight. Hastel comes out, and he is a real hassle for a Hastel. So he throws out Noivern, who is incredibly fast. We decide to lead out Scott Wayland because he's just going to be tanky enough to take on any move from this Noivern. The Super Bang hurts, but we are actually able to take it out with the Stone Edge, which is fairly good, and we decide to swap into Ann Costell, the Volcarona, once again. Dragalge comes out. We're not really too scared, so I debate on doing Terra Fire, but I change my mind and go for a Psychic because Dragalge is a poison type. Dragalge hits us with a water move, which is not too bad, so we decide to go for another Psychic to take. Hassel decides he's going to throw out his Haxorus, so we return Volcarona and throw Amy Lee out to try and do some kind of damage here. We get the Sun up, and we go for a Lava Plume, hoping for some Hail Mary burns on the Haxorus to make it weaker. Unfortunately, he goes for a couple of Rock Tombs, and the Lava Plume just refuses to get any kind of burn at all on this Haxorus. So we just keep going until it's almost too late, and we save Amy Lee for possibly later in the battle in case we need Sun, and we bring Scott Wayland out to tank the Rock Tomb. Now, unfortunately, I know that Scott Wayland's going to go down here to a Rock Tomb, so we just go ahead and let it. We throw Ann Wilson out since the Sun is up, and Ann Wilson has Chlorophyll, and go for just a Hail Mary Crunch to take out the Haxorus. Now, with the Flapple coming out, we decide to go back out into Volcarona and go for a Bug Buzz since Flapple is a grass type, and that does a lot and takes him out. Now, Baxcalibur comes out here, and Baxcalibur I can't really do anything against. He has Thermal Exchange, which makes it where he cannot be burned. Fire moves don't hurt him, so we just decide to go to Steven Tyler for, again, a unresisted Shadow Ball, because it'll do the most damage that we pretty much can do on our entire team. So I know for a fact he's going for Glaive Rush, but that Glaive Rush won't take us out. So the Shadow Ball does a ton, but does not finish off the Baxcalibur. So he goes for another Glaive Rush, which is fine. Unfortunately, my Shadow Ball didn't do as much as I wanted. Now, the Sun's gone, so we decide to bring Amy Lee back out. So that way, Amy Lee is guaranteed to go down, but we can bring Ann Wilson out for hopefully a revenge kill. So we go all in. We Terastallize, and we're going straight for a Seed Bomb right at the Baxcalibur, and it doesn't take it out. Unfortunately, he goes for another Glaive Rush and immediately takes out Ann Wilson. So our next bet is going to Ashley Costell, who is guaranteed to be faster, and we just go for pretty much any move that's not fire to take out the Baxcalibur for this video.